I'm actually just going to hand the mic over here to Micah. He has some important information for everybody. So I'm just going to play this clip for you guys, and then I'm going to kind of talk through it myself. So here we go.
Hello again, I'm Micah, the game director on Maximum Football. When we set out to produce our game, we wanted it to be as realistic as possible. We didn't just want the same canned animations to play over and over and over the same every single time. We've worked hard over the last few years, bringing in expert artists, expert designers, and expert developers to make sure that we deliver a game that is beyond anything that has been delivered before. Our artists have focused on creating thousands of animations, which are driven by our AI, our amazing animation blending system, and our physics system. This all creates truly emergent gameplay, where you can play the same play 100 times, and each time it'll be slightly different than the last. This AI makes our players constantly reassess what's happening on the field and react accordingly. The movement of the ball is pure physics. There are no preset animations on the ball in our game. If you see the ball bounce, that means the ball bounced. It doesn't mean that somebody on the team thought it would be a good look to make the ball bounce that way. In fact, here's a demo of how accurate our physics system truly is. Check out these debug tools. Watch the arc of the ball as it's driven by the force applied by the QB. And watch the receiver as he navigates to the ball's landing spot using its speed. The ball does not warp or snap to any of the animations. And it's not just the physics. Even the fabric of our uniform is lit using real-time lighting. We know you've been waiting a long time for our initial release, but trust me, it's going to be worth the wait. We're delivering a football experience unlike anything else. Maximum Football is releasing into early access on Steam this year.
Alright guys, there's a lot of information there. So like usual, I'm going to talk through some of this stuff, and I like to slow it down because that's just the way that I like to kind of talk through these videos, especially when it comes to the gameplay stuff here. Very excited to kind of look through some of this. So as Micah mentioned, they showed some brand new clips. The game is coming to early access this year. Again, that's not a release date, but they're confirming, I'm assuming, at some point this summer. I feel like they're starting to feel the pressure of this NCAA stuff. So the college football game is going to show its cards very soon. And I think that's what Maximum's doing. They're just laying it out there. So let's talk through a couple of these plays. Now, they're starting to show a lot more of the run game here. And I thought, I remember just watching this handoff clip for the first time, and I was actually like really impressed at how smooth that was. A lot of these handoff plays seem to be very glitchy or not well polished, and just seeing how this handoff took place, you're seeing a lot of user control here too in a lot of these plays. So the offensive and defensive line interaction has vastly improved from what I've seen. The run animation is starting to really shape up here. So I thought this was finally a cool clip. You have a power run play here. It looks like you're getting kind of a zone block to your right. You have a user control defensive tackle. He gets blown up, but the other DB that was, I guess, creeping there in the background comes in to blow this play up. He must have been a linebacker. We've seen a lot of really overpowered run plays in a lot of these clips, so it was cool to see this kind of play out the way that it did as far as like defensive stuff. I like how this DB or this, nickel, whatever this player is, he's not programmed to just, it's run, I'm going to play the run. You could see him go through his read step progression, and once he sees this down block, he then starts to come down here and attack the ball. So there's going to be I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of stuff with their awareness ratings in this game as far as like dictating how a lot of these plays happen here. You get to see a lot of the air game, a lot of passing stuff, some collision stuff too. I like what I'm seeing. I would like to see them throw, maybe definitely have some sort of like accuracy deficiency when you're moving around in the pocket like that, throwing the ball. But overall, not a bad play. You get to see a lot of the cinematic stuff. I know this has been an exclusive feature to Not Madden for the past few years, where a referee's on the field. I mean, I couldn't fucking believe it when I saw Maximum do that. A couple more passing plays here. Just whipping that thing around. And it looks like they've... I don't know if this is a complaint with the Madden community. It used to be real bad in the PS2 days and the early PS3, Xbox 360, where we used to call them ninja linebackers, would basically be able to jump up in the air and swat down a ton of the stuff in here that they shouldn't have been able to pass. I think awareness and stuff really matters in this game. Closing speed, those kind of things. As you could see, this safety and this receiver who's going to catch the ball are doing two different assignments here. He basically takes himself out of position, and then he's, blindly turning around here to try to get back to the receiver to find the ball. You could see he looks like he has a chance at getting a pick here, but he either can't find the ball, or maybe he's just a bad player and it gets over his head here. And the user dives himself down. I thought that was like a fall down animation after the catch, but again, I know a lot of people don't remember this, but this is college rules, at least at launch, because of the dynasty stuff. So that player is now down. Get a really cool interaction there with the user control on a lot of these defensive players. Get a pancake, really nice pocket formation. Just a bad route there, and the defense is able to swat the ball in the air. You get this cool transition to the other side of the field of view. I've started to see, and I know a lot of people might not point this out, but I'm starting to see this tackle play out a lot. So hopefully they kind of switch some of that stuff up. This fullback dive, to me, was one of the highlights of this, where you have the user control here, basically try to catch back up, but they overplay that. You get this juke move, and this, I think overall, this is the best play of the day here. As this player over pursues here, this opens up and you get this tackle I've never seen in any of these clips, where not only does he grab the player and restrict them from movement, but he actually drags them back away from the first down. I thought that was just really, really cool to see something like that finally come out. Now you have some fog on the field. Haven't seen a lot of that recently in any games. This might be the best animation of all of them that I've seen. This little hot play here off the tip. That just looks like an athletic movement. Like, I don't know how else to say that, but that just looks athletic. That's so awesome to see. Another looked like a little zone beater pass there. There is a little warping with the ball. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but he actually catches it not in his hands, and then they go into the explanation of how that kind of plays out. This is very blurry, but if you watch any of the live stream interviews with him, there's a lot of talk about what takes place in the tech of this game. I think these cutscenes look pretty good. They look like human beings interacting with one another, which, a lot of time in some of the Madden stuff, they just look like cybernetic robots from Skynet. Another really good play. I was like, the defense has got this one. He does warp a bit, but again, he's so far out of position, he can't get there to make that up. And you see the offense benefit from that. I would say after these plays, I'm really impressed with where they're at with the game. Now, of course, the game is not perfect by any means. There's still a lot of stuff that they need to tackle. And, again, that's why they're going into early access. So let me kind of explain. If I'm Maximum and I'm listening to my fans, I think that they're going for something where they're going to try to hit a release window. Okay, that's great. And then this game is going to have 2 waves of users that come back for the content. I think at launch, this game by default is going to have tons of people download it, play it, see what it's about. And I think that the casual audience will get some enjoyment out of the game. I think that this is going to be one of those games where a hardcore audience is going to absolutely have a ton of content to kind of dive into. I think the next transition for the game where it kind of, dies down for a couple months, but I think that there should be some sort of patch gameplay wise and with the franchise that brings some new physics-based tackling to the system. I think if I was Maximum, they're doing a good job at developing a lot of the interactions with the receivers, the DBs, the line. I think my next big thing after this game gets launched and we're able to play it would be to work on some sort of like physics based tackling system to where you have some backbreaker style run up the middle. You hit a wall and you're stuffed, or you see a ball kind of pop up into the air and you have like a collision of some bodies, just some stuff like that. Overall, though, I mean, this gameplay looks awesome. I honestly can't wait to get my hands on this game. I may try to get into the early access stuff. We'll see. I'm more of a console guy myself, so just wanted to cover this video real quick, break down a little bit of the gameplay that I saw, some really cool details, some things that they still need to work on. But overall, this game is it's in the oven, it's baking, so it'll be hot off the press soon, I'm sure. If you guys have any stuff that you saw, let me know in the comments. Appreciate you checking out my videos. This video was sponsored by Undisclosed Energy Drink. They get advertised at the back of the line now because they don't pay me a cent.